Hello again. It's me, Tim, How to Murder Feet, something, whatever. Right, so that's Hayling Island. It's, Sunday it's 10 o'clock on Sunday the 3rd of July. July already. Blimey. Honestly, the only time I really pay attention to the date is when I'm recording these things. How the year wanders by. This is the ship inn at Langstone. This is Langstone itself. There's the big bridge to Hayling Island over there. We're on this side this time. And I am not concerning myself with all this mud. To be honest, we're going over there somewhere. There's a lot of fencing. Trying to work out where the actual path is at the moment. But, I can see people actually walking along where I want to go, I think. Let's have a zoom. Yeah, figures moving along the foreshore there. That might be the path I need. Anyway, it should be a relatively easy day today. Oh, I'll tell you what. Blimey, I actually measured my exact route on Hayling Island last week. And I did 18 miles. I thought that was a hard 12. And it turned out I was right. Yeah, a lot of in and out and wiggling and road trudging and stuff. I mean, good and bad, really, Hayling Island. Good parts and bad parts. I stay on the west coast and the south. Stay off the east shore, because you can't get to the east shore. Anyway, that's all past now, so now we need to follow the inside of this promontory protrusion of Chichester Harbour, all the way along there up to Emsworth in the distance, which is the end of Hampshire. It's also the end of the Solent Way, and the end of my path. I have to sort of wing it. I think I've seen something on the map so from Emsworth we go down to a big long protrusion, which runs out into Chichester Harbour and then just basically comes back. My car's sort of in the middle of that, and that's called Thorny Island. I keep calling it Thornley for some reason. I put Thornley into the sat-nav and it tried to send me 300 miles in the wrong direction, so I ignored that. All got a bit fraught this morning, but I got here. Here I am. So Thorny Island. Apparently there's some sort of military MOD type of situation on there. Now I was consulting the good Dr. Ruth's casebook, coastwalker.co.uk or org or whichever. And she did indeed do this. She didn't do Hayling Island, because, why would you? But she did walk along this coast here. This was like 6 years ago, and she was going the other way. So, she encountered. She regales her journals mention a kind of chain link fence with security gate that you have to push a button and talk to someone on an intercom to be allowed to go through. And apparently you have to provide your name and address and mobile phone number or something. Now that was 6 years ago. And even then she said no one actually asked her for any details. She just pushed the button and someone buzzed her through. So I don't even know if that gate's still there. I mean, I saw an MOD Thorny Barracks sign as I was off to park. So there might be something military out there. So that might make for a bit of a amusing faux pas later in the afternoon. But, it's not my first military firing range. Which is not really a phrase I thought I'd say prior to hitting Minehead 5 years ago. Still, there we go. There's some sort of lighthouse, smokehouse, don't know, otery. I don't know. It's all quite rustic down here. Although quite noisy, traffic-wise as well. Anyway, I'm going to try and find the path, crack on past. So this is the ship inn. I can see another pub over there, Royal Oak. But yeah, I've definitely seen people moving along that tree line in the distance there. Little pairs walking along. So I'm reckoning that's where the initial path goes, and then we'll wing it from there, really. So yeah, this will be the end of Hampshire. This will be Somerset, Devon, Cornwall, Dorset, Hampshire. Yeah, five into West Sussex next. Right, let's crack on. Taking advantage of the low tide here to just run along the foreshore. There's a path just up there at the bottom of those bricks for high tide adventure. And look. This is fascinating. This must be the other end of that causeway that was marked out on the map from Hayling Island, perhaps even prior to construction of that bridge. That might have been the way to get to Hayling Island. You wait till low tide and you run across there. Looks navigable. Distinct sandbar across the middle, probably continuous. I think we're at low tide now. Interesting. Not going that way though. Alright. Yeah, it all looks a bit more marshy. I think I have to cut into the village at this point somewhere. That's the Royal Oak. This looks quite closed. Yeah, getting sort of 16th century Dutch landscape painter feel to it. I don't know what I'm talking about, as usual. Yeah, I thought that'd be too good to be true. Down here now. That's alright, I can't imagine it ever gets so high tide that this is covered. I don't know, saying that, the evidence would suggest otherwise. That's fine, it's easy going and timed it kind of right. It's probably an in-and detour in the other events. But yeah, this is lovely. Just following the waterline. A few other people out and about today. Small families throwing stuff at birds. Food, presumably. Yeah, good. I think it's going to be much of this today. In fact, I think most of it's actually raised sort of seawall type dike, probably, around Thorny. We'll see. Been quite meticulous with the suntan stuff today. I got quite scorched yesterday, forearms. I keep saying yesterday, last week. It's like the rest of the week doesn't really exist for me, to be honest. I'm only alive when I'm out here. But yes, don't let that partial cloud cover fool you. Not fool me, certainly. So I have to reapply at some point in the afternoon as well, I think. Just make sure I don't get further scorched. Yeah, lovely. There we go, some historical architecture for you historical architecture fans out there. I'd say that's late Nixon, maybe early Reagan. Bit of a shattered wall off of one side there, maybe it was part of something bigger. Some massive castle destroyed during the last Venusian invasion. There's probably a princess at the top of it and he's rescuing. Or a prince, you know, modern times and all. So we've actually managed to find ourselves up on the old sea defence wall here, very similar to the stuff the other side of hailing Langstone Harbour out there. The other side of Langstone Harbour, it's all Langstone Harbour, I guess. Yeah, this is more the standard kind of path I think we're going to be finding for most of today. This kind of thing. Mind you, it's very sheltered here, so I can't imagine sea defences need to be specifically robust here compared to on the actual south-facing sort of beach type sections. You've got the whole Hailing Island blocking off pretty much any kind of incoming wind or waves. Corners to turn as well. I mean, this must be like a mill pond most of the time, I expect. Not much wind today. Going to be kind of regretting my under t-shirt. I may have to divest it and stash it in the bag at some point when there's a hedge to hide behind or something. See, I don't want anyone seeing my pasty naked body, even if it is only the upper torso. Yeah, I'll see how we go. Heating up a bit though, and yeah, a little bit of a breeze. Just about to see the Isle of Wight in the distance. Still on the horizon. That will be with us at least until probably Southsea Bill around the end there. Slowly inching my way along the coast. Got quite confusing trying to use a 50p piece to rub the bits of foil off that represent this kind of area, because there's a lot of double backing and very fine inlet work. I think I may have accidentally rubbed off the next 2 days worth in my frenzy. Still, I quite enjoy looking at that map because it charts basically all the way from Minehead in rubbed off foil. And it starts to look quite impressive in the grand scale of it all. Yeah, okay, it's taken me a long time to do it and I do it small bits at a time, but I'm pleased. Right, so what have we got going on here then? Some sort of diversion that people are ignoring. Okay, looks like I might just, you know, when in Rome. No, I should probably follow the signs. What a quandary now, I don't know. I'll decide and let you know. Well, I went with the detour in the end. I don't know why as a detour, you see, all those people I saw the other side of it could have come to some insurmountable crossing and then turned around and come back. So, plus, although there's probably not much danger of falling off an eroding cliff along this section, there's still erosion and stuff. I like to sometimes follow the rules when convenient. So here we are, Garden of the Dead. Could do with a bit of a strim. Squirrel. Gone. on the following the Wayfarer's Walk and the Solent Way at the moment. They both coincide. I guess you have to look after your own plot, really, don't you? If anybody does general mowing. Yeah. Not sure what the deal is. Not something I've thought about a lot. Oh dear. Teddy bear gravestones. I don't mind that sort of thing. A lot of people get very cross about bright children's graves, teddy bears and stuff. I don't see that it matters. Lovely day. So I appear to be, yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, that tower must have been attached to the church. Not defensive at all. It's following this inland route that apparently, I think, parallels the shore. Hoping it rejoins soon. So I don't mind. It's nice to have a field. Got in here. Is this corn or wheat? I have trouble telling the two apart. Probably needs another month looking at it. It's only just the start of July now. Harvest time's usually August. Sort of early August. Certainly around here anyway. Yeah. I have no idea if that's a good crop or a healthy crop or what. Blink with the tractor over there doing something or other. Silage maybe? Usually the tarpaulin. Big old heap of wet rotting grass under there basically, and it sort of ferments. Becomes silage, used as cattle feed during winter months. Smells quite bad. Yeah. You can hear the whisper of the A27 to the left. Big old main south coast link connecting road runs all the way along to Brighton and beyond, I think. Turns into the M27 somewhere, just not too far that way. The M27, which gloriously announced it's fully open after its smart motorway refit. Finally open this week. Saw on the local news they were quite... I don't know, it was an interesting article because the piece had the temper of, look, thank God the roadworks were over, but smart motorways are bad, okay? Because they are. Smart motorway is basically where you take the standard 3-carriageway motorway in the UK with hard shoulder. Hard shoulder, basically an unused fourth emergency lane in which you can brake down and wait for recovery in moderate safety. As a response to massive traffic increases over the years, they've basically gone through a massive programme of just turning that fourth emergency lane into just a normal lane and not having anywhere to actually break down in anymore, except little refuges, tiny little lay-bys every like half a mile or so. And then regulating the whole thing with a sort of dynamic speed camera, speed limit thing. Speed limit's supposed to adapt during to keep things running smoothly using computers. And people tend to keep getting killed because they break down, park on essentially what amounts to the left-hand lane of a motorway, and then, you know, lorry drivers who are busy reading the newspaper and pouring themselves a cup of tea with their knees tend to plough straight into the back of them while they're waiting to be picked up, and often with tragic results. Seems to be a statistical enough thing that they've put a moratorium on building new ones, but the M27 is probably going to be the last ever smart motorway to be completed in the UK for some time, I think. Yeah. Of course, the trouble is the alternative is a 3-lane motorway that is just queuing all the time. Traffic particularly bad around the M27 M3 junction at Southampton, especially during rush hours. I mean, going home today, I'm going to try and avoid the M27 and the M3, which is part of my normal quickest route back. Certainly I took those down here to get here, and that was fine because it was 8 in the morning on a Sunday, but going home on Sunday afternoon from the coast to the hinterlands, it's going to be a nightmare. Generally, queuing all the way up there, slow moving traffic and so on. So I usually cut cross country, longer, twistier, but also keeps me more awake. So after a long day's hike, driving home again can get a little bit soporific at times. So nice twisty road with lots of interesting things to look at does tend to keep you awake. Yeah, so there you go, a little bit of local transport news there. I'm waffling. I'll stop for a bit and walk. I think this might be Emsworth. Western Parade. On the right track, has all the right kinds of arrows. Back on the shorefront again. Look at there, one of those tall upright birds. Like a heron or something. I know as much about birds as I do about architecture. Probably a condor. So yes, back on the seafront, this is good. And you can see how at low tide how useless this is as a navigational basin. Just small pleasure craft only, and even those need to stick to the channel-y bits. Mind you, I'm not sure I'd want to walk along any of walk on any of that. Yeah. So around the end to this marina thing, and then up a deeper channel, I think to a bridge on the A27, or some similar road. And Emsworth, that'll be the end of the Solent Way, I suppose. Assuming that'll be marked somewhere. Otherwise I'll just have to guess. And yeah, I think it's this river that goes left, right at the end of the left-hand turn there, marks the boundary to Sussex. So yeah, progress. Emsworth. A big old sort of tidal pool here. Newbies learning to sail. Might be me one day. I think I'm just too big. I need much larger boats. You get hit in the head by the swingy bit all the time. Pub over there, I think, some sort of high street I've had. So yeah, and that over there is Thorny Island. It's a big old loop that's about 6 miles. Try and get all the way around into the back. Well, made it to Emsworth. Can't see any Solent Way signs. I guess you just have to sort of wing it, really. I am having to wing it at this point. I'm going to have to work out where to go next. I think probably this way. Let's try it this way. Sort of following the sun, more or less, at this point. So, finished the Solent Way. All in all, not bad. A useful 100-mile extension to the southwest coast path, although it is a bit slapdash about following the actual coast. And that's led me here, Emsworth. I think this mill pond here marks the border. Hampshire, Sussex, and I've seen a new sign. The Sussex Border Path. Kind of green thing with a yellow, I don't know, what is that, robin, finch? Condor probably. Yes, which is great because according to my big orange Ordnance Survey map, I can follow the Sussex Border Path pretty much all the way around Thorny Island, which is pretty much all I need today. So presumably the Sussex Border Path obviously follows the border of Sussex. If you follow it that way, you head off inland and eventually hit the South Downs and so on. But I suppose if you follow it this way, does it follow the coast or does it just follow the border to the sea and stop? I don't know, either way I can follow it for now. It's a good start. Like it. It's going the way I need to anyway, so we'll do that. Yeah, my big orange OS map says the Sussex Border Path follows this, so let's do it. Yes, onward to new counties. Don't know how big Sussex is. I think it's West Sussex and East Sussex. Not sure what the difference is. It might be to do with unitary authorities or, you know, who collects your bins or something, but they're both Sussex basically. I don't know if that's then Kent the other side. I'll have to check a map. I getting a bit out of my patch now, really. This is increasingly far away from places I've been a lot in the past. Let's see where we go here. Cross through the yard, I think so. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, navigated that boatyard, only got slightly lost. Now here we are, Sussex Border Path, which I believe runs off into a kind of vanishing point over there somewhere. Thorny Island. Incidentally, my car's about half a mile that way at the moment. I'm going to loop round the island, come back and then approach the car back from the other side of it all. That'll be the end of today. Can't remember the name of the place I'm aiming for. Prinstead? Something like that. Prinstead Beach. Anyway, so yeah, good. Should be a bit easier going ahead. Military bases notwithstanding. Here we go. Press pause, some more information. Island Island of Thorns. Okay. There are no facilities on the island. Gate post or guard room. God. So yeah, essentially, my car is at that P. I am here. I'm going to go all the way around, come all the way back up to here, Prinstead, and then go back to the car and go home. And that's about 8 miles or so, all the way around, 6 to 8, something like that. Yeah, just a big old path that goes all the way around the edge. Security gate. 2 red gates. Interesting. Oh well. Doesn't seem like a go away kind of sign. Ah, here we go. So, today's home to the Royal Artillery. Being a military base, so guards at security gates at each end of the coastal path. Please press the intercom buzzer for access and stay on the footpath. Right. There's no legal right to cycle. Okay. Embankment repair. Yeah, fair enough. Right, well, let's see what this gate business is about. Probably won't be any hassle. I'm looking at a gate or a fence up ahead. Could be it. I've seen a lot of people backwards and forwards along this path. So can't imagine the security clearance requirements are that stringent. Yeah. If it's all the same with you guys, I probably won't film going through. It's exactly the kind of thing that might raise an eyebrow. Speak to you on the other side then, probably. Well, I've checked the sign, there's nothing there about no filming, so let's do it. So I need to follow the blue waymarks, anti-clockwise path. Keep dog under control, no litter, no cycling, no camping, no fires, no camping, yeah. I mean, there's lots of small bits of advice I've given out on these films, but not camping on an active military base has got to be in my top 25 or so. Right, okay, well, let's see what the deal is. Oh, there you go, through. No problem at all. Just push the button, it rang a few times and then it clicked open. It had a little camera phone thing. Obviously somebody was looking at me. I've been logged in some database or whatever, but you know, it's fine. Just a hiker. I suppose they just want to count people in and out, you know. I guess I'll have to go through a similar gate at the other end. Similar noted on film sort of thing. It's alright, I'm filming their base, they can film me. Oh, so stay on the path is basically it, and follow blue way markers, not the red ones. The red ones are for coming back. I'm not sure if that makes a distinction, but we'll keep an eye out. So that's Hailing Island, obviously. You can see some of the shoreline that I didn't get to visit on my visit to Hailing Island. All along there, no coastal access. I mean, it's right down to that caravan park sort of area where the actual path was. Missed all of that. Still, there you go. Can't see it all. Right, let's keep moving then. Obviously don't want to be here when the sun goes down. Otherwise there'll be patrols. Surprising number of red bricks all washed up ashore here. Particularly surprising since I didn't think red bricks floated. Bits of wall building. Old buildings around here maybe? I don't know. I didn't see any red flag, or at least, you know, a pole or red flag could be on. So I guess they just don't actually close for exercises or training. Maybe this is just barracks and storage and training, you know, boot camp stuff. I guess it's the Royal Artillery. I suppose they don't really have anything small enough to land on the same island if they fired it in test. Probably go somewhere else for that. North Dartmoor or Scotland or something. Still, it's one of those fantastic, ironic things that most military bases in this country are fantastic havens for wildlife because people aren't generally allowed in them, apart from soldiers doing specific things. You tend to end up with a lot of small wildlife living quite comfortably in the under the shadows of it all. It's a pretty well maintained path though. Well, I say maintained, you know, worn, I think probably is the word. There's a lot of people through here. They probably have perimeter patrols along it in the evenings and whatnot. I don't know. I know about as much about military as I do about birds and buildings. I don't really know a lot about many things, to be honest. Software quality assurance. Far too much about secondary fantasy worlds associated with video games. Yeah, and hiking. Right, onward. Can't dawdle, for obvious reasons. One of those complicated, drawn-out overtaking manoeuvres that's left me somewhat out of breath. Still, got a bit of space now. It's quite busy along here. Got a lot of people enjoying it. The wind's picked up a bit now that we're around the corner and out of the shade. It's nice, cooling. I approve. And yeah, just working our way back down the other side from Hailing Island. Private estates and white cottages on the far shore there. I'm a bit bumpy, it's quite an uneven path. Still good though, still alive, still not being exploded. I haven't seen any of these blue wave markers yet either. Still, I imagine the path's fairly self-explanatory. Good. Crumbling sea defences here. I've seen little piles of bricks here and there where people are sort of somewhat slapdashly fixing them up. I've not seen anybody actually working on them though. I don't know, this is the eternal losing battle, isn't it? The sea is patient and will always be there long after us. We do our best to keep these farmlands and stuff. I mean, that's lower than the sea level down there. It should all be underwater by rights, but we think we know best. Yeah, going to see a lot more of that when we reach Norfolk, I'm sure. Ah, there's a nice bench and it's midday. I mean, it would be a lovely place to stop and have dinner, but I'm being followed. I did all that overtaking. I don't want to throw my advantage away now. So I think this is the western tip of the south end of Thorny Island. I think I need to swing along this beach, sweep down to the southern point. Mind you can see the sea. So that's the Hailing Island Sailing Club thing, with their prohibitive gantry over there. And across there is West Wittering Beach, I think. There it is. Yeah, that's the continuation of the proper coast. I mean, I've got a lot of inland estuary river days to do first. Oh, Bench of the Dead. In memory of 12th Regiment Royal Artillery, who gave their lives serving Queen and country, RIP. Wow, you get a different class of Bench of the Dead in a military military area. Blimey, I suppose there's some history there. Second World War, First World War, maybe. Who knows? Okay, do not touch anything. Don't have to tell me twice. That's a little frisson to the average Sunday afternoon hike, you know, the possibility that that small shiny metal object that you kick might suddenly end everything in a flash. I expect the path's probably fine. Surprising then. I mean, I didn't see any any flagpoles that a red flag could go on, so I didn't think they'd actually fired anything on here. It's not that big an island, you know. Oh well, advice heeded. Yeah, good. Blimey, this is hard going. It's not even a beach. I mean, I guess I could go down to the waterline, I guess, but I don't know, who knows, might tread on a shipping mine or something. Looks like it goes into a bit of hedgy bit over there. Let's see if I can see any of these fabled blue waymarks. Foreshore at the end of nowhere. Love it. Thinking many visitors, I suppose. Well, I mean, apart from, you know, the loads that are ahead and behind me. Because essentially there's one path. No, you're not allowed to detour off of it, and it's a sort of 5 or 6 mile loop. The only way out is all the way through, I suppose, or doubling back. So yeah, tend not to get too many families setting up with buckets and spades. Right, keep at it. Looks like I might be into the pebbles soon. Yeah. Or I could have just followed the path. Oh well. Where's my blue waymarks? So here I am worried about straying off the path, or am I allowed to film it? Oh god, it's a military base and somebody flying a model aeroplane over there. For those younger listeners and viewers out there, model aeroplane is like a drone, but it has a forward fixed speed and no camera on it. It's made of balsa wood. Often has a very small internal combustion engine on it. Though ironically still needs batteries for the radio control pickups and stuff. Some scale replication of a, don't know, is that a biplane? I'm thinking stop with camel here. Yeah, for how much I know about aircraft, see earlier. Bloke beach fishing there as well. There's the yeah, let's kick back, do what you like. Windsocks. Might be a little model aero club here somewhere, another windsock down that end. Well, it's obviously a lot less restrictive than I was led to believe. I'm still not leaving the path though. The butterflies just got buzzed by one. It's that time of year again, chasing each other around. Alright, there's the flies, right, moving on. See a lot of dragonflies about as well. On this foreshore stuff. Yeah. Noisier than a drone. A bit less easy to control. Does a lot less automatic fly-by-wire stuff. Especially a bloke on the ground with joysticks. Squinting at it. Good. Blimey, I can barely see it with my bare eye, with my naked eye, let alone track it with a camera. So he's very good. Just seen do a textbook Immelman turn, I believe. I don't even know if you're in shot. Yeah. Oh yeah, look, barrel roll. Yeah, I feel the need for speed. Now I can't even see it in this screen. Yeah, so add camera work to my list of things I'm also not very good at. Should be coming up on the southeastern point of Thorny Island, swinging round to the north then after that, I think. Making our way back up towards Prinstead beach. I can see boats on the horizon that way, so we're obviously on a peninsula, yeah. Oh yeah, there's you guys. The old RC gear. Controlling it all. No fancy gadgets there, although I suppose remote control stuff is pretty fancy gadgetry. Right. Ruined old gantry there. Jetty. Bits of it going off into the sea. Occupied bench. The car park over there, I think. I thought this was a military base. Oh well, let's just keep on round. Military base with a secluded family sand beach. Sandy too, that's quite rare around these parts. There's a lot of shingle around here. Oh, there you go. I'm sure it's fine. gonna chance it. I think I understand. Not supposed to go off down there because there's no way to get from there across to the path. Some stuff in the middle, probably channels. So that's okay, but that over there is not. Right. Confusion dealt with. It's quite hard going. This has seen some work. Hedge cuttings along here. Strange bridge. Maybe floods. Yeah, swinging around to the north now, heading up. That's 3 or 4 miles to go in total today, I think. Doing well. Going good time. Perhaps a bit too good time. Feeling somewhat hurried by the military base aspect of it all. Not really sat down at all today. It's okay, doing well. Early finish maybe. Beat the rush back along the motorway. Yeah. It's brilliant. Sign facing the other way into that hedge. Yeah, guard dogs on patrol, MOD, etc. Sign was erected before this whole hedge grew, I think. 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, maybe. There's a lot more trees and hedgerows and things on this side of the island. Eastern side, less of the prevailing wind hitting it. It was the same with Hayling Island, actually. All the tall trees and foresty bits were mostly on the eastern side. So I'm told. I didn't get to see them up close. Lovely. Quirky little avenue. Yeah, so get used to this vista because we're going to be seeing this for the next 3 or 4 trips. That's, don't know what river, something or other, but it goes up to Chichester basically. So you have to go all the way up this side here, which is another 2 or 3 islands like the one I'm on now. First of which you can see just in front. I don't know how much of it I'll need to actually do, depends on what pathing there is. And then I'm going to have to come all the way down that far side, I think that might be the village of Itchenor. All the way down to the end, to a point that's basically 300 metres away from Hayling Island lifeboat place. Ferry, damn it! Still, there we go. I'm in no hurry. Yeah, nice river estuary to delight the senses for the next couple of trips. It's all very placid, calm, tranquil. Tide coming in, I think. Hugging the edge of the island here. Little embankment wall there. This is clearly not designed to withstand large force. Just a retaining wall, I think. It's quite rare the tide even comes up to there. There's no tide mark on the outside of it. There's bits of sea froth on there, but probably the defences don't need to be that robust along this bit. Still, just gets in one place, it'll take the whole lot out, I'm sure. Some houses up ahead as well, a little hamlet. Still inside the wire. I wonder what that's all about. I suppose we'll see when we get there. Yeah, you can see where the water carries on right on up. Got quite a way to go before we reach the inner back plane of the river system, I suppose. I'm up at Prinstead. And yeah, so much more going back out and then coming back in again to do as well. We'll get there. Try and think about it. Just one stage at a time. Enjoy the journey. Sailing club. Starting to regard those like golf courses of the sea. Right, onward that way. Certain military uniformity to those, which is understandable. We are still in a military base. This old church there. Aztec, I think. Alright, how are we doing? 1 o'clock. Looking for a late lunch, early tea, I think, on the way home. Probably only about another 2 or 3 miles to go. We'll see. Let's crack on. Taking advantage of this gap in the traffic. Nobody coming up behind. Some folks in front who need to get a bit of a wiggle on. Give them some head start. Can't be bothered to do that overtake thing, because once you've overtaken someone like that, then you've got to put on the power and get well ahead of them as well, otherwise it looks like you're just mucking about. Yeah, Nutbourne Channel apparently we're looking at there. Look. So some of those bits and pieces of green in there are actually inaccessible from land, so I don't have to worry about them, but that's a problem for another time, the other side of that. Lovely day though. Have to be doing my suntan stuff in a minute. And you can't be that much more to do really. It's 1:15. I reckon I've probably got less than an hour's worth left now. It's good. It was a sort of shorter stage I'd planned anyway, so that's good. Compensate for my Hailing Island. Just the way the car parks all line up works well. South Downs over there. I wish I could remember what any of those hills were called, but you could probably go and look that up on my other hiking. South Harting maybe, somewhere that sort of way. Early start. Up at 7 this morning. See, I mean, when I did the South Downs way and got to the very far end of that, so on sort of Eastbourne sort of way, I was having to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've moved sort of about 20 miles further away from Eastbourne than I was before. So by the time I get down to that end doing this here hiking, I don't know. I mean, I might just stick to a 7 o'clock start and just get later buses, you know, because it's summer, not winter. I mean, obviously part of the problem with the South Downs way is I did that over winter, so the days were quite short, 4 o'clock sunsets, you know, 4 and 5 o'clock, and so you had to start early, and you had to start hiking at the beginning, you know, around sunrise ideally. But I could probably go on till 8 o'clock, well into summer. I mean, we've passed midsummer now, so technically the evenings are drawing in, but I tell you, I can still see a glow on the horizon at around 10 o'clock, half 10 at the moment. This would be a easily adequate daylight for well up to like 8 o'clock in the evening. So I think I just shift the days into later, and it means I come home later, but that's fine. Saves the panicky rush driving up there, cross country as well. Once I get a bit further along than Chichester, it's not going to be such. Recommended route isn't going to be the M3 and M27 anymore. So there'll be all sorts of cross country B roads and things to deal with at like 6 o'clock in the morning with very little sleep the night before, you know. Not good. So probably the plan for the later parts of the summer, when I'm sort of down towards Brighton and beyond, I think I'm going to be to just shift it to a later in the day, which is fine. It's good. And then I just won't be doing it at all over winter because I'll be too far away and the days will be too short. So yeah, once we hit September, there'll be a week of hiking, and then it'll be nothing till May, I suppose. The cadence of these episodes ought to slow down a bit. I'm sure you'll be relieved to hear. It's John I feel sorry for. He has to edit all this crap. Right. Going to sit here for a bit longer and get some water down me, and then yeah, shuffle on for the last stretch. The people I'm following have gotten quite far ahead now. Splendid. I've got to find the second gate. Escape from this brutal, militarised urban landscape. Here we go. The second gate approacheth. Are thee worthy? Don't know, see if I can push a button and be allowed out into the civvy street. D-mob happy, me. There's basically no fundamental difference between one landscape and the other, but there it is. This bit belongs to the MOD, and I guess that bit over there doesn't. Right, I'm going to go and negotiate with the push button, see if I can get out of here. Well, I'm out. This is still MOD apparently. Oh, is that just the water? You are here, Thornham Point. Okay, yeah, done. No perceptible difference here really. Let's just keep on trucking. Trying to get to Prinstead, Prinstead, I don't know. There's a beach up ahead, begins with P. Could probably do with an ice cream. It's the one thing the MOD's not big on really, it's ice cream shops. It's not really their bag. I'd have to indulge on the way back if I can't find anything on the path. Nice, relatively new bridge. Anti-slip paint still visible. Weathered, but yeah, I don't know. 5-10 years maybe. Guess you would have had to have tried your luck with the stones in the creek before this. So it's Prinstead. Prinstead is the name coming up on it, I think. So Prinstead Beach, I think, might just be over the other side of that marina, I don't know. Or is it that one? Either way, that'll be the end for me for today. That's a short stroll back to the car. It's just somewhere in there. About a mile, half a mile maybe. And we're all done. Tide's definitely coming in here. All the floaty seaweed and grasses and things underwater now. I saw there was a green island in the middle of there as well. It doesn't seem to be there anymore. Yeah, quite tidal around here. Probably salt water all the way up. Surprised that green stuff grows in the tidal range. I'd have thought the salt would have poisoned it all, but I guess it's adapted. Seagrasses, whatever. Yeah. Size of that catamaran. Or is it just really near? If they've ever been to America in it, transatlantic. You'd hope so. Boat's that big, you got to take the big adventures, surely. Certainly capable, I'd imagine, something that size. The right gear and a bit of experience. Something like that. That's more of a stay around the British coast sort of thing. Maybe get the Isle of Wight for a weekend. And something like that. Wow. All depends on how much chutzpah you've got. Around the world, I reckon. Southern Ocean. Oh, there we are. This unassuming place is Prinstead Beach. Such that it is. I mean, it is high tide to be fair, but... Alright, this is an arbitrary spot I've decided to call the end of today's stage. The clouds... yeah, it's going to be alright for rain. So, yeah. That's me done. I've got to go back along the path and find the car now. It's only about a mile or two away, so I should be alright. It's just coming up to 2 o'clock. Short one today. Energetic day, and a whole load of it trespassing on a military base as well, which is always novel. So yeah, join me next time when I'm going to tackle Chidnam, which apparently the path floods at high tide. I've just seen on the sign, so I've got to do a bit of planning there, I think. Anyway, see you later.